So you got a thumbs up and a finger up to Hashemayim.
It's a long Chumash today because this week is a double parsha, Tazria Mitzvah.
Okay.
So just when you thought you can go back in the water, dun 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 dun, right? So,
So many times actually. This part. I said, I did that next week. I did that last week.
right. Okay. Perik Yud Beis, Pasuk page 8, Pasuk Aleph. Vaydaber Shalmei Shalemar, Hashem said the Moshe saying, Da'aber b'nei Yisrael Lemar, speak the children of Israel saying, Isha ki sazriya, if a woman conceives and gives Yalda Zach and gives birth to a male child, the Tama Shivas Yamim, she'll be impure for a 7-day period. Kimen Dvaisa Titma, like the days of her separation, when the woman gives birth, she's impure like her menstrual separation time. Let's see Rashi. Isha kisasri, if a woman conceives. Amar Rabbi Simlai said, the same way as the creation of man was after that of every animal, beast and bird, in the creation of the world, so too the laws regarding him are mentioned after the laws of animals, beasts, and birds. So in the end of last week's parsha, we talked about the tomb of animals, right? Of the 8, creepy crawly things. 3 minutes left. So we parallel the same way and man was created after animals, so too we talk about the tumah, the impurity of animals. Animals go first. Kisasri, if she conceives. This word that she just says she gives birth. Who cares if it conceives? When you give birth, obviously she conceived. This includes even Yiladatu Machli, even if she gave birth to a fetus in a dissolved form, meaning it was a miscarriage, I guess. That she gave birth to a fetus in dissolved form, was dissolved, became like a seed. Its mother still has the impurity of birth. She should be impure like her menstrual discharge, meaning according to the rules of Nida, then she's also, by birth, she becomes tamei, impure. Even if by some miracle she had a baby with no blood.
What?
The act of birth makes her impure for a period of time, just like when she has she bleeds during the nida to the period. Devaisa is a term for something that flows from her body, or another explanation, l'shinmad in a malady, in sickness, because a woman does not see menstrual blood without feeling head and limbs heavy. Gimel, vayemashmini. On the 8th day, Yimod B'sar Losai, the child's foreskin shall be circumcised. Dalit, Shleishim Yim, Shleishos Yamim, for 33 days, Teisha Mei Tara, she will remain in a state of purity. The Chol Kodesh Loisiga, she can't, she must not eat anything holy. She can't go to the temple until her days of pure are completed. So it's saying here, if I'm not mistaken, I gave the Uzdin Chumash sheriff the look, and he picked up the look. So basically like this. A woman gives birth to a male. She is impure for 7 days. Then, theoretically, she's healed, which is, it takes longer, but that she goes to the mikvah and she is now permitted to her husband. But she still cannot eat sacred food or go to the Temple Mount till the end of 33 days, and then she can do that. Rashi says teshev means delay. She remains in the state. Tell him to come here. Tell him to come here. No explanation. It's a term meaning malady and sickness. Oh, you said already. A teshev means remaining. You stay. Okay. So you're going to wait. You're going to wait for me. Pause for a second. So continuing on, the Demei Tara, Shemain a state of purity with regard to her blood. Each 33 days, she's still considered pure to her husband. Tahara, which means she's still in a state of purity, not adjective, not pure as an adjective of blood, but a state of pure blood. Demei Tara, Demei Tara Shlo. Okay,
Rabbi, what do you mean adjective?
it's not pure as in a description of. Doesn't change much. Lo siga, she must not touch. There's a warning that she can't eat holy food in the state. Anything holy, this comes to include truma.
So this would only be
This
for
food
the wife
was
of Kohen.
all right. You hear me? Is it good? That's better. So basically, there's a term called tful yoim. Tful yoim means it's not a kohen. A kohen becomes, let's say, a kohen wants to eat truma. So he has to go to he gets tummy, let's say, from something that's a 1 day tuma, a sheretz, a creepy crawly. He goes to the mikvah. He's now tful yom. He went to mikvah, but he cannot eat the truma till sunset. So till sunset, he's kind of in this limbo state of where he's purified, but not enough to go eat the sacred food. So too, that's what she's like. She's like a very long period of tful yom. She went to mikvah, but she has to wait not till the sunset. She has to wait 33 days till to do that. Yeah. And then she brings the day after that, she brings her sacrifice of atonement, and she's totally good. Zion. He shall offer it up before Hashem and make an atonement for her. And she'll thus be tara from the place of source for blood. This is the law of a woman who gives birth to a male or female child. Rashi, he shall offer it up. The word vav teaches you that the non-offering of one of them prevents her from eating holy sacrifices. Which one is it? Is the sin offering? For it said the kohen shall make atonement for her and she'll be purified. That which is brought as an atonement, on it is the purification dependent. So that's when she's totally allowed to have sacred food. After 33 days, the kohen brings the sin offering, then she's totally back to regular, pure, sacred food ready state. V'Torah, she will thus be purified. This implies Sha'ad kan kriyah mitmeya. Till here, she is called impure. Ches. If, however, she cannot afford a sheep, she shall take 2 turtle doves, 2 doves. One is the ola, or a burnt offering. One is a sin offering, chatas. The kohen atones for her, and she is thus purified. Ches, Rashi, one bird for burnt, one bird for sin offering. The Torah is not putting the burnt offering first. In just in its listing, but in its actual offering, the sin offering comes before the ola. In this, as we learn in the Gemara in Zvachim, chapter Kol HaTadir. Next chapter, Perikut Gimel. Vayidaber Hashem Moshe Lemar. Hashem spoke to Moshe and saying, I skipped a verse, but I realized I skipped verse Hey and Vav. If she gave birth to a female child, she has to then wait 2 weeks.
Double.
She, for 66 days, Tesha, she remains, I'm going back to Pasuk Hey. She remains on the blood of her state of impurity. She remains in the purity of, until the purity of pure time of blood, whatever. Vav is at the end of the period of time, whether it's a male or a female child, 33 or 66 days later, depending on the child, then she brings an ola sheep for and a bird for the sin offering. To the opening of the courtyard to the kohen. So I didn't do. There's no Rashi in that, so I didn't do that. In case you're wondering, why is there a difference of what type of child she has? She's double impure to her husband, 1 week versus 2 weeks, and then 66 days till she can go bring the atonement offering to be allowed to have sacred food. Why do you think it's double?
Yeah, that's a good question.
So, one reason.
And this has to be for what? The wife of a Levite?
No. Any woman gives birth.
How would any woman be even close to sacred food? What would be sacred food? Unless you would be something that Cohen would.
As an example, if you are an Israelite, a Yisrael, and you offer a shlomim carbon, you know what happens? You get a piece of it. The owners get some of it as well to eat. It's still sacred food. It has certain conditions of being allowed to eat it. And this would be one of them. You got to be pure. And for a woman that gave birth, she's impure for X amount of time.
So a man who brought the sacrifice to give to the Kohen would share in that food, and then he would not give any of it to his wife.
Right. In that case, right. In that case.
And that goes until the extreme would be the end of the second month. Yeah,
right. Right. Right.
second.
Right. But anyways, I think one of the reasons given why a woman that gives birth to a female has a double time to wait till purity than for a male child is that when she gives birth, what's
We
it's on
repeat,
here.
we repeat the 33 days, but we do not repeat that 7 days. So it would come to
No.
74, 70,
No.
72
It's 40
days.
versus 80. No. It's actually 80 because she does 2 weeks for a female child till she can go to mikvah to be allowed to touch her husband, even after. And then on top of that, 66 days till she can have sacrificial food.
Would it be possible that maybe the daughter, the infant daughter, would be a nida at the same time?
No, you can't be need that at 1 day old. I think only. I think I'm not sure. The main reason. Let's say here's the main reason.
The daughter has her hormones matching her mother's hormones, and that would be
I don't know.
biologically.
I don't know. That's not. I didn't hear
be
it.
in a state of nida.
So the answer that's given is that at when a woman gives birth, it's so painful, either explicitly or implicitly. She's like, I'm never doing this again. I'm never going to do it again. And therefore, this kind of vow is atoned for by her waiting. I think that's if you have the lifestyle, the blue Chumash, the book of the 5 books, you have one volume of it. I think it has it there. When she has a female daughter, she's doubly not wanting to have a child again because she feels bad for her female child to have to do it. Understand? So as I recall, it's some sort of like implicit vow that she regrets that she's atoning for.
But what if something else was biologically true?
I don't know. I just don't know.
But I think that can be true. I'm not sure. But I think if I knew a little more about human biology, I think that could be the case. And I've seen.
Follow the trail. You got to go look it up. Go do some.
Mike Rosenhaus might know that.
He pleads the fifth. He said. All right, let's go on. I only have 10 more minutes, so let's carry on. No, the lifestyle Chumash. You have the one copy they have here, the blue back, the blue binding, the 5 books of Moses. You use it sometimes. In English, it's an English one. Okay, next page, 12. Hashem's what the Moshe Aaron is saying. Adam kiv arbisari says pachas veres vayba arbisari negasaras. A person, if he has on his skin a seis or a sapachas or a white spot. Vayba arbisari negasaras. Yes, that is it. And appears on his skin as a mark of tzaras, which is not leprosy. Leprosy was a different malady. Tzaras was a spiritual skin discoloration. Slander, idle words, yeah. He shall be brought to Aaron the priest, or one of his sons, the regular kohen. Thank you, Pesach Dov, for searching and finding. So it says here, just to back up from the Maharsha on the Babylonian Talmud about this, just going back. Pesach found the book for me. When a woman experiences the pain of birth, she swears that she'll never have children again. When a boy is born, she soon regrets her death. This is what we use. After 7 days. After a girl is born, the concern is deeper because the child, the baby girl, will one day have to deal with that pain. So she doesn't, the vow doesn't get reconsidered till 14 days. That's the logic. Okay. Moving along to Seis Sepachas. These are names of tsaras marks. And one is whiter than the other. Seis sepachas. Vaheres means chavarburois, means or spots in Old French. As we see the term in Ioiv, bahirhu bashchokim, it's a spot in the skies. El Aroin. Why does Aaron have to be the doctor to check out tzaras? This is a divine decree. It is only determined by the pronouncement of a kohen.
Okay.
Why? Because God said so.
Welcome.
However, in case you're wondering why the kohen, it does here give a reason from Rabbi Shlomo HaKoyin Rabinovich of Radomsk, 19th century, I'm guessing, Hasidic master. He said, Kohanim are said in the Talmud to be people of kindness, great humanitarians. When it comes to declaring someone as a tzaras sufferer, because that's a very, it's kind of a harsh decree, you know. It is imperative that this harsh judgment be done out of love. Can't be done coldly. It's to be done out of love. That's why the kohen, who's the man of love, is the one to give the pronouncement of this harsh condition.
Wow.
Okay. Gimel. The kohen shall look at the mark on the skin, and if there are hairs on the mark that turned white, right, regular brown hair became, white. And the color of the mark looks deeper than the rest of his skin. Neged tzarasi, that is the criteria that it is tzaras. And the kohen sees it and declares the person impure. If there are hairs in the mark that have turned white, meaning originally they're dark hair and they became white, and minimum of hairs, plural, is 2 hairs. And the other sign is that it's a deeper, the whiteness is deeper than the regular skin, matched up to each other. Because it says here a rule, every white color, in contrast to a darker color, like regular dark, peach colored skin compared to white will look deeper in the optical illusion than the regular darker skin. Okay. It's just contrast. It looks it. It's not sunken in. It's not like a cavity. It just looks a little deeper. Optical illusion. And the kohen declares the person impure. He says, Tameati, you're impure, because the white hairs are the signs of impurity by the decree of the Torah. Dalit. If the spot is white on skin, does not appear white deeper than the skin, and the hairs have not turned white, and the kohen quarantines the person with a mark for a 7-day period. Okay, because you don't got the hairs white. It looks white. It looks the color scheme of tzaras white, Snow White, whatever, It is actually Snow White. I know you love these little, connections. So we try to deliver. The snow actually says Snow White is one of the colors.
Snow White is
It's actually one of the colors. It's Snow White.
There's 72 colors of white.
There's actually 4, but maybe there's within the 4 categories. Maybe there's 72.
Right.
Okay. Anyways, egg white, eggshell white, Snow White, and then I don't know the other 2. Anyways, I think it's in the
section.
The Rambam says that. I don't know how he derives it, but Dalid. So hairs are the sign. Dalid is Dalid Rashi. It's not a very deep white. So Rashi, I don't know what this means. Big discussion here, but Rashi's, I don't know what it's saying here. Okay. Next. You shall quarantine him. He shall, what does it mean, hiskir? You close him up in a house. You lock him in a house. Basically, he doesn't see him till the end of the week. And then the symptoms will determine his status. Basically, there's not enough criteria to deem him impure. So instead, he has to wait. He gets locked up. He gets quarantined. Hey, at the end of the week, the kohen shall see him on the seventh day, and the mark appears the same. It did not spread any further. It's the same, let's say, nickel size. The kohen shall lock him up 7 days more. What? Okay, cool. Thank you. Then it's lock him a second week. Rashi, be'enov, it's the same color, same appearance, and the same size. So let's say it was a quarter size. It didn't become a little any more than that. It stayed a quarter. And it didn't get more yellow. If it got less, if it got out of the four color shades and it became not as white, then it's also not. I would say it's not tuma. Next thing is Shenis, the kohen shall quarantine the person. But if it's spread during the first week, that is a sign. So you can infer that when you first see it, the criteria is two things: color, the four colors, 72, whatever, and if two hairs are white. Let's say it's the color scheme, it's the right shade of white, but it's not, there's no hairs that are white. So you can't do anything. So you quarantine him. After a week, you look at it again. Now you have a new criteria to make him tameh. If the hairs are white, that also makes him tameh. But in addition, if the white spot became bigger, that's also a reason to condemn him as tameh. You get it? All right, vav. Yeah. The kohen looks at him on the seventh day. If he sees the mark faded and the mark did not spread, so if it stayed, you got to wait another week. At the end of the second week, you look again. It's still staying. It's still the same, let's say, quarter size. Or it faded. Then the kohen declares that he's pure. Mispachasi, it's what we call mispachas. It's not a spiritual discoloration that we call tzeras. Rather, it is a natural condition. It's eczema or something. It's not a tzeras. And he washes his clothes and becomes pure. Rashi, vav, kea. It becomes hucha marisai. Its appearance has faded. From here, we learn if it stands in its appearance or it's spread, it's tummy. So, interesting. I take it back what I said. If it's a quarter size, let's say Snow White, for 2 weeks and doesn't change, that's impure. If it either stays the same but gets yellower, right? That it would have to stay the same size but be less bright white. That's not tsaras. Mispachas is the name of a pure mark.
You're saying it doesn't grow.
It has to not grow and it has to fade in the whiteness. If the person shall wash his clothes and become pure. Since he was required to be quarantined, even though he's not tummy of the worst case tumah, but even his quarantine was a level of tumah, he has to go to mikvah, and his clothes as well. Zayin. If mispachas spreads any way over the skin, after it was shown to the priest to declare it pure, then it shall be shown to the priest the second time. Ches, the kohen shall look, and if he sees the mispachas has spread over the skin, the kohen declares him impure, and he's tzaras. What's it here? Once he declares him impure, he's then what we call muchlot. It means he's decisively impure. That was an add to going to mikvah. He's got to then bring birds as a sacrifice. He has to shave all his hair, and he has to bring the mitzorah sacrifice. Mentioned in the next parsha, Zoistia, something like that. Mitzorah. Tzarasi, the mispachas azois. Tzaras is a feminine noun. Nega is a masculine noun. So what is it saying here? I think what it's saying is that you walk away. You did your quarantine for a week or two, and you're declared you're pure, because
But you're coming back.
but then it comes back. It regrows and gets white again. Then I think that's what it doesn't say it in here clearly, but I'm pretty sure that's what it means. That's verse 8. Yeah. So he waited the 2 weeks. It was actually 13 days. And he's declared pure, but then it comes back. Then he's impure when it comes back. Tess. Let's finish this up. Nega terasi ki sibadam v'olakoyin. It's teras. He shall be brought to the priest. Yud v'olakoyin yini says lavaram ba'ar. The priest shall look at the mark. If indeed if the mark from good. The kohen shall look at the mark, and if he sees there is white on the skin, has turned the hairs within it white, or there's a healed patch of normal growing skin within the face. Rashi. Michias is healing in Old French. It means some of the white in the face turned back in the color to the skin. That too is a sign of impurity. White hair without a patch of healed skin, also a healed patch without white hair. Even though a healed patch is mentioned only regarding face, it's the same, which is one shade of white. It's the same impurity sign for all the shades in their subsidiary colors. So he's telling you now another it seems like from the way they're saying here in the Rebbe's opinion, in the Rashi, is that when you have this third round, this third rodeo, seeing it, there's another sign that can make it impure, and that is healthy skin. It's like white patch, and in the middle there's like a little bit of healthy skin. That's another telltale sign, even without the white hair. But the way I'm seeing here, it's applying it only to the third rodeo, the third time around. I think in the Rambam, even the first rodeo, if you have healthy skin, it's considered impure. I don't know. I have to look it up. Yud Aleph, Tzaras Neshanasi. This is a long-standing mark of Tzaras on his skin. But and the Kohen should declare it impure. He shall not quarantine him because he's decisively impure. Tzaras Neshanasi is a long-standing mark of Tzaras. It is a really old ailment beneath. So why is there healthy skin? Because there's an old ailment beneath the healed patch. Although this wound looks healthy from above, underneath it's full of pus. Therefore, do not say, since the healed patch has appeared, I'll render him impure. I don't really get it. Basically, you would think, oh, it's healing. It's not healing. It's that there's a tzaras underneath that healed piece of skin. I guess. Okay. If the tzaras, here's an interesting thing. It develops over the whole body. The whole skin and the tzaras covers the entire body. It has the mark. From the person's head, from head to feet, whatever the priest can see, from the head of the person to his feet, whatever the kohen can see. This excludes a kohen who doesn't have good eyesight. Can't be the doctor, the examiner. The kohen shall look at it and behold, the tzaras cover the whole flesh.
It completely confuses me. Completely confuses me.
Why?
You're saying he's covered with leprosy, and you're telling me he's pure.
Right. Counterintuitive.
How can you understand that? It doesn't make sense.
Counterintuitive. You're right.
What?
Let me finish the verse and I'll look up an answer. It's counterintuitive. If a little bit of tzaras makes you impure, a lot of it should make you very impure. But if you're totally covered, then you're pure. Let's see.
That's a good one.
Since the tzaras covered the entire flesh, he should declare the mark as pure. If he is completely white, he remains pure. Rashi. No Rashi. Yedalid. But on the day when a spot of healthy, normal flesh is on this white guy, this white albino, tzaras guy, albino, but then that makes him impure. Meaning, this refers to a healed patch grew on him. The Torah already explained that it is a sign of impurity. Rather, we're talking when the mark was on one of the 24 tips of limbs that do not generally become impure when they develop a healthy patch of skin because the mark cannot be seen all at once, since it slants in different directions. However, the slant of the tip of a limb does not become visible at one time through fat, such as it became thick and broad, allowing the healthy patch to become visible with one glance. The verse teaches us that it does become impure. Basically, if you become tzaras at the top of a finger, let's say around the top joint, and one of the signs is a healthy little dot in the middle, right? But the problem is if it's at the tip of the finger, it's not seeable at once in one glance because it's like, it's curved. So that's not a problem. But if you have a fat finger, it does become more leveled out, and then a healthy piece of flesh would make it a problem. Okay. Yud Tesvav. The priest should look at the normal growing flesh and declare the person impure. The kohen should see the healthy flesh and declare him impure. The normal growing flesh is impure and is tzaras. Rashi, I skipped to Rashi. What's it teaching you? To tell you that there are some days when you may examine the mark and some days you cannot examine. On that day. On the day, some days are disqualified. One is this, for example, a chassan who's about to get married, got married, you can't examine him to declare him impure for the 7 days of his marriage feasting. For him, for his clothes and his house, so too the whole holiday. Basically, days that are joyous times, you don't mess, you don't do the examination. You say, let's come back after the holiday, come back after the wedding feast, and then they can do the examination. Tes Vav. Terasi, it's a teras. That flesh is teras. The basar is a naniskon. Tazayin, Rashi. Pasuk. Or, but if the normal growing flesh turns white again, it comes to the kain. And the kain sees and became transformed, the mark to white. Then the mark turns white, the priest declares the mark pure, it's pure. Again, it's very counterintuitive. When the person is totally white, he's pure. A little dot of healthy flesh, he's now not 100% white, then he's impure. But if that healthy flesh becomes white again, he's back to 100% whiteness, and he's now he's pure. Counterintuitive. But let's see it. Let's see in a second.
Wow, is that counterintuitive?
Yudches ubasaki. Now we're talking about if skin has inflammation on it, and the nibran heals. Shchin is a heat. The flesh became heated through an injury that came from a blow and not from fire. So it's not basically it's damaged, skin nerves. The nira becomes healed. So the shchin now had the inflammation became healed, and another place, another mark appeared. So it's different criteria for tsaras. In the place where inflammation had been a white ace or a pink spot appears, white ace type of whiteness or pink spot, it should be shown to the priest. It's not plain white, but rather it's a mixture of two colors, white and red streaks in it. I'm sorry, white and red is pink. Chaf. The kohen sees that its appearance was recessed from the skin because white always looks sunken. And there's hair that became white. It's the kohen declares him impure. It's tzras in the place of inflammation, not healthy skin, but in scarred skin, essentially. Rashi, it appears recessed. It's not actually recessed, rather, it looks recessed and deep in the same way sunlight appears deeper than its shadow, as we said earlier. If he looks up, there's no hair that's white, or it's not white that looks deeper than this other surrounding skin, and it's therefore faded. The kohen still says he's got to go for a 7-day period of quarantine. Impossible if after the week, in the 7th day, it spreads, that's a sign of impurity.
What sentence are you on? What verse, Rabbi?
Verse 22, Chav Beis, page 20. Chav Gimel, last verse, if the spot remains the same and did not spread, it is the scar inflammation, and the kohen shall declare it impure. It's just a scar. If it doesn't spread after a week, it's just a scar, inflammation. And then if he declares impure, if it stays in its place, the scar inflammation. It's just a scar. The term tzereves always denotes contraction of skin that contract as a result of inflammation. We see this in Yechicheskel v'nitzru v'va kol panim. Every face shall be scarred by the fire. Retreat in Old French, to contract.